Paul wrote Galatians as a magna Carta of the faith, a proclamation of the freedom and the security that we have in Christ through faith alone. The one thing Satan will do the rest of your Christian life is try to get you to doubt your standing before God, and there's something that you've got to try to measure up to so that it's now faith in Christ plus works, or saved by grace but kept by works. After Paul left the area of Galatia, there were Judaizers who came to say Paul's missing the real meat of the message. You have to become a proselyte of Judaism. You can't be saved outside of Judaism. So they were obviously adding to the gospel. Read with me through 3 texts to show you what Paul's battling against. The first one is in verses 6 through 9. I marvel that you are turning away so soon from him who called you in the grace of Christ to a different gospel, which is not another. So what Paul's saying is, you have turned to another completely different gospel, which is not the same kind. In other words, it is a false gospel. He says, but there are some who trouble you and want to pervert the gospel of Christ. But even if we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel to you than what we have preached to you, let him be accursed. This means to be eternally cursed by God. This is a very strong statement. Turn to chapter 3. O foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? He's saying it's almost as if someone's put a spell on you, that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ was clearly portrayed among you as crucified. In other words, I made the issue of your salvation so very clear. This only do I want to learn from you. Did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? Are you so foolish? Having begun in the Spirit, are you now being made perfect by the flesh? And this is what Paul was battling. And then if you just go to Galatians 5, verse 1, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty by which Christ has made us free. And he's speaking here about liberty from the rules, regulations, rituals, and demands of the Mosaic law. Do not be entangled again with the yoke of bondage. You've been set free. Why do you want to be slaves again? You will become a debtor to keep the whole law. You have become estranged from Christ. The word here really means alienated. You who attempt to be justified by law, you have fallen from grace. Falling from grace simply means this. The grace of God is available. The grace of God has been provided for you, but you've rejected it and you've turned to another system. You are secure in Christ. As said in Colossians, you are complete in him who is the head of all authority. In him is the fullness of the Godhead bodily. In him are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge, and you are in him, and therefore you are complete. The goal now is not to try to secure my salvation, earn God's grace, or anything else. It is to live out the reality of what I have in Christ.